All right, everybody, here we are. It is me, Gregory Mannarino. This is my post-market wrap-up on this Thursday, July 16th, 2020. A lot of stuff to talk about, so get comfortable. Let's talk about this market today. Stocks fell, not by much at all. As a matter of fact, it was a great disappointment to me, and that's the truth. I explained to you yesterday in both of my videos and today in my pre-market report that this market must give some back. The Dow lost like 100 and something points today. I mean, it's a joke. And I'm going to put a little more light on that in a moment because we heard from two Fed presidents today, which really kind of made me sick to my stomach. And again, I'll cover that in a moment. So understand what we witnessed here in this market. It's very straightforward. It's very simple. It's something we've seen over and over and over again. It's called a pan sell-off. What does Greg mean? When stocks sell off along with cryptocurrencies, along with gold, along with silver, and along with crude oil, everything is selling off. A pan sell-off. When you see these things, 9 times out of 10, a week later, not only does the market recover, but it's up substantially. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind. These are things you must learn if you're trying to follow this market. It's just so important. Let's talk about a couple of other assets. The dollar did catch a bid today. And with regard to the 10-year yield, it didn't do much of anything. So no real big shock and awe in this market. And we'll see how this plays out tomorrow. I mean, let's touch on Fed presidents. We heard from two, Fed President Williams and Fed President Evans. Both of these unhuman things, they're not human, they're echoing the same thing. More money, more debt issuance, more asset acquisition. I mean, it's an incredible thing to see and to hear, and nobody says a darn thing about it. As a matter of fact, we got Nancy Pelosi, the other thing, talking about another 1.3 trillion in stimulus. I mean, where's it coming from? Fed President Evans and Fed President Williams. That's where it's coming from. Understand what you are seeing, all right? This should not be a surprise to you. It's the one-party system going to the Fed, talking about more debt, and that's what they're piling onto the back of what was once a great nation. The United States of America has fallen. The United States of America has fallen to the power of its central bank, the Federal Reserve. Let me talk about that a little more. And I know there's a lot of people out here hoping, wishing, praying, smoking a crack pipe, whatever it might be, that President Trump is going to end the Fed. In order for that to happen, he would have to take down the Wall Street banks. The Wall Street banks run the Fed. The Wall Street banks are so powerful right now, they could drop the global economy in a heartbeat and send us all back to the Stone Age in an hour. You have to understand that. This is what has happened. The consolidation of power by the Wall Street banks since 2008 has been epic. You heard too big to fail? You've heard of that? Well, this is just beyond. So if you believe that the Fed is going to end the Fed, that the president is going to end the Fed, you have to believe he's going to end the Wall Street banks. What would that mean for you, for the dollar, for our economy, for the world? It cannot happen. So stop the crack pipe. All right, whoever's pushing that narrative is insane. Look, the mechanism here is too easy to understand, and it's all about easy money. I don't know another way to put it. Nothing else matters. Earnings don't matter. Shock to this market like a global shutdown by the Federal Reserve. This was engineered by the power of a central bank. COVID-19, or I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here. Meow. This was engineered by the Federal Reserve to shut down the global economy, kill the money velocity so they could get in here and buy it all. No one wants to talk about it, but that's what happened. That's what really happened here. It's not China. It's not the United States. This was an event that will go down in history at one point when the truth is released about the disbursement of this bioweapon. All right, that's it. Shut down the global economy. Keep people in fear to such a degree that they don't know whether to, I don't know, what they're going to do with themselves. Force them to wear a device across their face to remind them that they should be afraid. I mean, come on. This is where we are. This is how twisted it is. I think you get it. I really, really do. At least I hope you do. And if you don't, you got to get off the crack pipe. It's that simple. Look, I'm trying my hardest to keep you all on the right side of this market. And I don't think there's a guy on the planet who's done a better job than me as of late. Ask any of my lions, any one of my freaking lions. Okay, these are people that follow the market. These are people that trade the market. These are people that understand the market. And, you know, the market has so many facets to it. And it's difficult to understand them all. But if you just realize the global plan here, the goal of the Fed since its inception, why it was created, and what we're seeing now between the Democrats and the Republicans, okay, what they're doing, calling for more debt acquisition, more asset purchases, you know where it's going. They're playing the game. They're moving the Fed as fast as they can to the top of that pyramid and beyond. That's what they are doing. All of them. All of them. Even the president calling for, negative rates, weaker dollar. How does this help you as an American citizen? And believe me, it will get no better under a Biden presidency. As a matter of fact, it's going to get worse. In the off chance, let's just again throw it out here. And I'm putting politics aside. I'm talking about the market. I am a market analyst, number one. That allows me to get a picture of what's going on here. All of this stuff, keeping it in a perspective. So if the market, I believe the market wants, at least the Wall Street banks, want a Biden presidency. And the Wall Street banks run the Fed. Period. The end. We know that. Biden would send stocks to the moon. It would send gold to the moon. It would send silver to the moon. It would send most cryptocurrencies to the moon as well. Because Joe will flood the market and the economy with more cash than you can even dream of. Again, further empowering the Federal Reserve. There is a chance here. Okay. We had Obama, all right? Let's just talk about Obama and then Trump and then what may come forward here, because this has been a game that's been going on for decades. But Obama here, he gets in, allows the Fed to, QE1, QE2, Operation Twist, and they never stop quantitative easing, and you know that. The Fed cannot just say they're going to keep rates low. They have to get in here and buy the debt. How? With cash created out of thin air. President Trump talked about the Fed and how they were supporting Obama. What does he do? Instead of doing something about it, he takes Obama's playbook and increases it exponentially to where we are now. Maybe this is literally a handoff. The chosen one, that's what he said he was, handing this off to Joe over there to finish it. To finish it all. That's really what may end up happening here. And I'm telling you, I said President Trump would win the election, but the fact that the Wall Street banks just are now saying, hold it, maybe Joe will play ball better than the other guy. And look, Trump more than likely with regard to this market has done all he can to prop it up. I mean, you remember the rah, rah, rah every time we hit a record high. Nothing else mattered. The charade of our economy booming, which it never was. The money velocity was at historic lows. Now we're beyond that because of this engineered shutdown of the economy via the COVID-19 charade. That's where we are. All right, and it should be very clear to you and very evident to you. Put politics aside, and it doesn't matter if you realize who's really running the world. Presidents, kings, queens, monarchs, dictators don't do a darn thing they want you to think they do, but it's the banks collectively who rule and dictate your life. Seriously, why do you think you have Fed presidents telling you, you better wear a mask, you better get that vaccine? Are you kidding me? These are Fed presidents, and the billionaires, like, I'm not even going to mention the name because you know what I'm going to. Bill Gates here trying to enforce his logic on you. I've noticed whenever I talk about Bill Gates, I get hate mail from Bill Gates supporters. You would not believe how many people support this man. All right, look, I don't really know much about the guy. That's the truth. All I know is I don't believe that anyone, especially someone like that, should be dictating what we should be have injected into our bodies. I just don't like it. And if you want to send me a hate mail or write me a bad comment, go ahead. Go ahead. Because I'm so used to it. It's just crazy. All right, so look, let's sum this up. Stocks did fall today. Nothing major whatsoever. It was a pan sell-off, and 9 times out of 10, like I said, stocks are higher a week later. Let's see how that plays out. Not one, but 2 Fed presidents come out here today talking about more easy money. I mean, it really just gets me sick to hear about it. And then Nancy Pelosi, the other creature from hell, another 1.3 trillion. That's not going to be enough. Her exact words. Where's it coming from, Nancy? Maybe you want to tell us all where you're going to get the 1.3 trillion. Duh! You think we're that stupid and we don't know? I mean, I think Nancy Pelosi actually died several years ago, because if you get a good look at that thing, she looks like a corpse. That's the truth. Look, as you can see, I am apolitical. I don't give a damn. Republicans, Democrats, they're all part of the same illness. It's a sickness that has invaded this world and this nation. It's so sick. It really is. It's just too twisted. Really, I just don't know another word to say. All right, look, I'm out of here. And I want you to think about these concepts I've spoken about here. I want you to contemplate it and think about, what's really going on. I think you know what's going on if you follow this blog better than anyone else, any place else, period, the end. And as always, I want you to make up your own mind. All right, you think about these things logically. Put all this other crap aside, because you do have an intellect. It's a God-given gift. Use it. You might come up with some startling revelations. All right, I'm out of here. Love you a lot. I'm going to get out of here. See you in the morning.